What's growing on, gardeners? Have you ever wondered just how large a dwarf tomato plant can get? Well, on today's 2-minute garden tip, I'm going to show you. Many years ago, I was one of the first gardeners on YouTube to aggressively promote the Dwarf Tomato Project. The Dwarf Tomato Project is an open pollinated initiative where breeders develop heirloom type fruits on dwarfing plants. You can get amazing, large, gigantic heirloom sized tomatoes of incredible quality on plants that are only about 24 to 36 inches tall. But while most Dwarf Tomato Project tomatoes grow like a determinate tomato, meaning they grow to a predefined height, they produce all of their fruit, and then they start to die back after they have ripened their crop, some of them are labeled as indeterminate. So what happens when an indeterminate dwarf tomato grows indeterminately? This is a variety called Rosella Purple. It's the first dwarf tomato I ever grew and my absolute favorite. I've been growing it for 8 years, but the problem is it is not disease resistant. When I plant it in ground, it usually only gets about 3 feet tall, and it will be one of the first tomatoes in my garden to succumb to disease and die. But here's the crazy part. I started these tomato plants from seed back in December, and I transplanted them into this container in February to get a big jump start on the season. So if you grow your plants long enough and you give them enough time, once you actually measure out these vines, they are over 7 feet tall. But nothing comes close to this variety, Dwarf Emerald Giant. It's named that because it produces huge green fruits that are as large as a pound each, but it's true to its name in size and vigor as well. This plant is so gigantic, it tests the limits of what a dwarf tomato actually is. Just look at this monster. Can you believe that this beautiful, gigantic plant is a dwarf tomato? It is over the roof of my garden, growing well beyond the cattle panel trellis. So, how big is this thing exactly? Well, according to my tape measure, this dwarf tomato plant is 8 feet tall. That is one big dwarf tomato plant. And this gorgeous, healthy tomato plant right here is still putting on new fruits, despite the fact that it's early October. Unfortunately, we're going to run out of growing season and they won't ripen for us, but this goes to show you, if something is an indeterminate plant, even if it is marketed as a dwarf, given enough time and healthy conditions, it can grow pretty big. And that's today's 2-minute garden tip. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell to receive new video notifications, and check out our Amazon storefront and spread shop in the video description for a list of the gardening products I use and awesome custom designed apparel and other gear. Your support is greatly appreciated.